to the Legacy Ascending Discovery Call. Tonight, we're going to talk about how to get some capital in your hands to be able to grow, scale your income streams, as well as we have a special guest with us tonight to tell us how we can become car business moguls. Let me get our screen up really quick.
You should be able to as your co-host. Welcome, Jerry. Welcome, Matt.
All right, there we go. All right.
There you go. I see your screen.
All right. So, some different stages of Legacy Ascending. We're to get up to $100,000 for your business that you can use and deploy for multiple options. So what makes us different at Legacy Ascending is we're not just going to put capital into your hands. What makes us different is being able to have a plan to grow and scale that capital and be able to have an ROI within the interest-free time that we're able to deploy the credit. So I'm excited about that. We've been working really hard to keep putting, more and more avenues together. So, from the real estate side, being able to do the e-commerce solutions. And tonight we're going to talk about how to be able to have your own car dealership. So with Legacy Ascending, you can get up to $100,000. All you need is a FICO score of 685 or better. You don't need no income verification up to 22 months, and it's only you only need to have that $1 tax, different things like that. But you need a 685 or better, a business bank account, and an EIN number. And with those things, we can get you up to 100,000. Our average is about 50,000, right? And like I said, what makes us different is being able to actually have a plan. You'll meet with us and be able to talk about all the different options that we've gone over. If you want to go into detail of some of the options that we've already gone over in the past, you guys can go to the Legacy Ascending YouTube channel. But if you want to be able to apply, we'll be able to get you a FICO, get you a get you a decision in 72 hours or less. To apply, you're gonna want to go to the three scores. Oh, that's not the right one. The three scores .com. I need it. I'm going up here. All right, so I don't need to see that slide. Okay, you're gonna want to go to www.the3scores.com. You're gonna want to download your FICO report in a PDF format. It needs to be PDF, not the HTML version. You're gonna want to email that to funding@legacyascending.com. Again, that's funding@legacyascending.com. In the body of that email, you're going to want to include your name, address, phone number, last four of social, as well as who invited you to Legacy Ascendant. So again, you're going to want to go to the number three scores.com. You're going to want to download your FICO report and email that to funding@legacyascending.com. In the body of the email, you're going to want to put your name. You're going to put your address, last four social, phone number, and who referred you to Legacy Ascending. And from there, we can get you up to $100,000 that you can use to make you more money. And one of those ways that we're going to talk about tonight is being able to have your own car dealership and be able to have access to cars at wholesale prices and be able to flip them for a decent profit. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce tonight's special guest, Mr. Marcus Ruffin. Are you on the line?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
So Marcus is going to take it away and let us know how we can be some car business moguls.
Hello, everyone. How are y'all doing? So let me first get my screen share going. Uh, let's see here. Go. Start now. Okay. Is my screen sharing, y'all?
Now
Yes.
it is.
Okay, great.
Yeah, we see it.
Okay, great.
Auto
Going,
brokers.
going. All right, so we are discount auto brokers. We offer a couple different services. Of course, we offer a basic service where we go shopping for your car for you. This is a step-by-step process where we walk you through everything as far as your budget, the date or time frame in which you would like to buy your car. Then we go into actually doing the purchase for you live, or we can actually even come do it in person if you would request that. There's a $500 minimum for that service. That's the basic service. That's just something that we would do for clients that don't want to be either brokers or actually have their own dealership. Now, from that, we go into the actual becoming an auto broker under our dealership. There is a $4,000 fee for that. With that comes along your broker's license. You have full auction access, meaning that you will have access to all the private auctions, not just the public ones where, that's open to the public. You'll actually have a auto broker's license that you will put into the system that is recognized nationwide, and you'll be able to have access to those private auctions. All right. Not only that, we give you a full mentorship. So we show you and explain to you the language of the auctions, how to participate properly and just do things the right way. Because there is a strategy and a method to different types of auctions and different ways you would want to go after your cars, trucks, etc. Right. Along with that comes also access to our own personal auto transport services, which we will have a discount package for our brokers to be able to transport your automobiles nationwide as well. And then we have unlimited temporary tags. So different states offer different things when it comes to temporary tags, but we have a system to where we can make sure that you have unlimited temporary tags. That's important. Okay. So these are the things that we offer under the broker program. Then we can move on to the full dealership.
Why they need temporary tax. Like, what are temporary?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Tell them why they need temporary tax. Why is that important?
Temporary tags are important because if you say, for instance, like me myself, we pretty much run our dealership remotely. We do have, of course, in Georgia, you have to have a brick and mortar office space that holds at least two cars. Different states have different requirements. That's something that we'll go through person by person. But those unlimited temp tags are very, very important because now you offer that to not only your clients, but as a auto broker, now you are able to move around in these cars that you buy without having to register. Right. So now you can just slap your temp tag on and transport your cars, move around however you want to move around with them without having to actually register them in either your dealership name or your personal name. So if you're an auto broker, you would have to register those cars if you didn't have unlimited temp tags. All right. So full dealership automation. This is what we do. This is our last, this is the major package, should I say. All right. So we start your very own dealership from beginning to finish. We analyze where you're at, what state you're in. Most of the time, we recommend you do it remotely because that way you can have, dealership perks that may not be in your state. Ours is ran out of Wisconsin. I'm in Georgia, but our dealership is based out of Wisconsin, for example. So this fee is $15,000, right? Like I said, we set up everything for you. We get your dealership going from beginning to finish. Right, that comes with a lifetime mentorship from us. That way you can also register your own brokers. You learn how to finance. You have access again to our transport services. You also have access to our crowdfunding system. That's something that we will teach after you become a dealership. Also, you will have access to our uh, dealership marketing courses and strategies. So not only do we open your dealership, we also show you how to sell your cars. Right. So we have a full mentorship lifetime. The courses we will do once a week via Zoom, just like this. And we will go through these courses that teach you how to properly market your dealership. This system is being used by other marketers that they don't own a dealership. They just market for dealerships. So we take that system and we apply it to our very own dealership, put people in place, virtual assistants, things of that nature, to actually be able to retain income from the dealership. So we just don't open it for you. We actually show you how to make sales as well. Okay, so yep, that's pretty much our system, and I will open up to questions. I'm better with questions than I am presentations, so fire away.
I got a question for you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
So can you give like a breakdown, like what could you make if we did your $500 service, what you can make on the middle and then the high end?
Okay, say that one more time. What can I make in the what now?
So I just wanted to try it out with the $500, your low, like what would be the income potential for the low package, medium package, and the upper package? Does that make sense?
Right. Now with the auto broker, with the 500 minimum, that's just us basically consulting you and getting you access to the auctions through us. So what we would do we would just, it's a step-by-step process with that. We analyze your budget. When do you want to buy a car? What type of car you want to buy? Things of that nature. And then we actually make the purchase for you, go and pick up the car for you. And I wouldn't, so to say, you would really be looking to make income off just purchasing the car. That system is more for people that want to take advantage of the Turo and the advertising. Correct, Daz? Now, when you want to actually profit from, buying and selling cars, then you would go into maybe the $4,000 package where you become an actual broker yourself. Then you don't need us to purchase cars. You'll have a broker's license number, and you can actually purchase these cars and resell them yourself.
Got it.
Okay, give me 1 second. Dad said she's in the waiting. So how do
Hello, Mr. Marcus.
Yes, ma'am.
I live in California.
Okay.
How stringent are the laws for the to become a broker slash the full dealership?
Well, like I said, it's remote. So we would analyze. California's they're pretty lenient when it comes to dealerships. The only thing that I know about California is that with the brick and mortar, I think they require you to have a nice amount of cars that you can hold on your dealership. But this is a reason why we do things remotely, because thank God that in the United States, you can be a dealer from whatever state and operate in whatever state as well. So that way, like I said, for example, we operate out of Wisconsin. We were gonna choose Georgia, but it's easier in Wisconsin to run it remotely. Understand what I'm saying? So
Yes.
you can have a dealership anywhere in the nation and still operate in California, but the rules and regulations won't apply to you because your dealership is based out of Wisconsin. Understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it just depends. It varies person by person.
And
Like
based on
Texas is another great state to remotely run your dealership out of. Wisconsin
Texas,
is good. Yes, Texas is good. Wisconsin is good. Georgia's pretty good too. The only reason why we chose Wisconsin over Georgia is because um, the temp tags are it runs a little bit better with the processing out of Wisconsin. So it's just little things like that that you may want to go to this state over that state, but it's remote, so there's no stopping us.
okay, when you have a chance, can you provide us a list with those states, like that are remote friendly?
Well, all of them are. I mean, like I said, you can run your dealership out of whatever state. It doesn't matter. But I can provide a list with all the state's requirements. And also you can call your local DMV and ask for your dealership requirements in your state.
Okay, because I did do a cursory review of dealerships here in California, and it basically was saying that you had to have a lot where, you had like maybe a minimum of 2 vehicles, you had to pass these exams or some type of exam.
Yes, ma'am. Yep. So California is probably one of those states where you do have to take an exam, but we pretty much we'll handle that for you.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Inside information, y'all.
Yeah, so it's really a knowledge thing. I mean, once you know, you know. But the basic thing that you need to know is that you can run your dealership remotely. Your state requirements necessarily don't apply to you if you know that. But like I said, your dealership can be based out of Florida, and you could move to Chicago and still run your dealership out of Florida.
Great information, Mr. Marcus. I'm speaking under my wife's name, so
Okay.
yeah. I have a question on taxes and the liability of said taxes. You touched on it earlier, so that was kind of my question as to how would the taxes in my state affect dealerships, or me being a separate entity as a dealership in that regard, because my business is multifaceted. So
now, I'm not a tax expert, so I really can't answer that question with total
Well, if you
accuracy.
don't mind, Marcus, I'll jump in on that. One of the things that we do at Legacy Ascending is we help people incorporate. And for those of you who know me, that's kind of my day job. And if you are in a state where the tax, you have to pay state tax for your business, obviously that's a drag. And ultimately, what my suggestion to folks is that you create a corporate structure in a foreign state such that the tax liability, wherever your dealership is, flows through to that state where there is no tax liability. So, for example, if you're in California, which has like max paying tax, right? You got an LLC there. Well, LLCs never pay tax. They only forward their tax liabilities through to the members. And if that member of that, the biggest member, the biggest owner of shares in that LLC happens to be a C corp sitting in, I'm making this up, Wyoming, then the majority of your tax liability is going to flow through to a state where there's no state tax. Now, of course, in California, you have an $800 a year minimum tax. There's nothing anybody can do for you about that. But if you made $10 million a month doing Turo in, all 50 states, well, chances are your tax liability is going to be much less if you structured yourself correctly. Thanks, Marcus.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. So basically, we're using the state in itself, such as an LLC or an S corp, just as a pass-through.
No, we do not use S corps that way. That is a quick way to get into deep trouble. We use LLCs. You're going to talk to your accountant. They're going to say, yeah, set up an S corp. You're going to experience max pain for that. Do your due diligence or talk to one of us about why it's important to understand the facets of incorporation. That LLC also needs to be multi-member. Don't think that you're just going to do it as a sole proprietorship. That's, again, another way to face max pain from the IRS. So, your accountant's not going to tell you that. And if you're an accountant on this and you're like, that dude's crazy, what's he talking about? I will show you where it is in the Internal Revenue Code. So talk to me tomorrow. But yeah, when you incorporate correctly and you basically set yourself up to win as a business, two things happen. One, you get to experience some great deductions and the lessening of that tax liability. But especially if you're in a state like Vanessa is in California, where the labor laws are like, just the worst, where you got to deal with employees, you got to deal with all the tax withholding, and it's just incredibly difficult. You have to have some kind of state presence, especially if you're doing a brokerage, especially if you have liability insurance. You can't just say, oh, I'll incorporate in Wyoming and do my business in California. Nope. That's actually a quick way to go to jail in California, state prison. So don't do that. But if you incorporate an LLC, multi-member again, we're just talking about California. In California for your business there, your dealership, and then you're able to move your tax liability away from California. Again, you can't get out of the $800 minimum, but the majority of that you can move away to another state. Then you get the best of all worlds. You get to jump away from all the labor law problems because you do have a real company in California that can be insured and all that other good stuff, which you definitely want to do. And then you're enjoying all the beauty of the 1% or elite incorporation status, which will bring your tax bracket from wherever it is down to 20. And that's it.
Yeah, so basically it varies person to person. So these are details that you guys will find out in, your own personal consultations and things of that nature. It's great that we have such a great group of people that's together that can also come together and make sure that everything is ran properly. Like I said, I'm not a tax expert, but I do outsource that knowledge and go with the professionals. So just like Mark, so Mark will be one of those guys that'll come in and answer those questions and make sure that everything is set up properly for your personal gain. There's no general answer for everybody when it comes to certain things. It's like, it varies what state you in. It varies, all different type of variations. But these things will be worked out perfectly for you. We have things in place that we can make sure things are worked out perfect.
Great question.
Yes, wonderful question. Do we have any more questions?
Is
I'm ready to
there,
answer.
like, I'm sorry, is there a financing option, like, if we wanted to do the full dealership automation? Is that where the business line comes in, or how does that work?
Yes. Now, once you get a full dealership, we definitely have a finance department that's a part of that dealership, and you will learn all the ins and outs of that, during the process of your dealership being opened up. Now, one thing I didn't have in that slide, which I do need to add for next week, it takes about 30 to 90 days for your dealership to be actually fully up and running. That's along with your finance department, things of that nature. So just for everything to be put in place, all your paperwork, and for you to have a grand opening your first day takes about 30 to 90 days, depending on your state.
Now, are you asking about how to get financing for your clients, or are you talking about how to get financing to pay for the 15,000?
Both, Ted?
Well,
Both.
Well,
Both.
the 15,000, that's what we do for you, right? You get your loan up to 100,000. I mean, your level one funding, like Daz is talking about, up to $100,000 at 0% for up to 22 months for 60 days, right? He's talking 60 days to 90 days before you open. That first 60 days, you don't even have to pay on that loan. What?
Okay.
And you're laughing because now you're setting up, like we talked about last week, you're working with Marcus, you're working with us, and now you're also buying your own cars, getting your loans through Bank of America, and you're using the capital that we're able to grant you through our funding as collateral. I mean, it just goes on and on and on, and you're just winning on all levels. Now, on the funding side, how do you get funding for your clients? That Marcus is going to walk you through once you're set up and running.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, I mean, we're going to combine what we're in the process of doing right now. We're combining systems. So with Legacy Ascending, this is where you start with this particular system. And then if you choose to open up your own dealership, then this is where the systems combine, because now once you open up a full dealership, now you have access to more funding, because we can get your dealership funded as well with the finance department. So that way you'll be able to, get cars not out of your own pocket, but you'll be using other money. You'll be using your finance department to get you cars as well, and your clients too. And next week, what I'm gonna do, also, I am going to actually go ahead and sign into, say, a Mannheim or a Dessa, and kind of go through some of the cars and things of that nature, so you guys can see the process, see some of the deals, and just see how the online auctions work, see what other auctions you have access to in local states, because those are the best. The local auctions, you're gonna find better deals there than you would online auctions. That's because it's more secluded, should I say.
And is that because not everybody knows about those local auctions?
Exactly. Plus, not everybody is going to have access to them. So you have way less competition at your local auctions versus your big auctions, your online auctions. Everybody likes to be comfortable. So when you are able to sit behind your laptop or your phone and bid on cars, that cuts out you having to travel to these local auctions as dealers to get the best deals. So everybody's like loving the online auctions, and not so many people are now, they're starting to not show up at local auctions.
Where I'm from, we call that an unfair competitive advantage.
Correct. That's exactly what it is. So I mean, Daz, if you're there, I think we could, if you want to, kind of go through some of the ways that just the regular basic package could benefit people. I think that would be a good idea because I don't know all the details on the Turo system or the advertising system as well that you guys have in place.
So, I like to call it the quad monetization plan because you can monetize one car 4 times. So you can have a energy, I'm not energy, fuel efficient vehicle and actually, have your client base be DoorDash and Uber Eats drivers. When you're talking about on a local sense, you have your right side, your left side, and your rear that you can offer to businesses to have their advertisement on the right side. That's the business. On the left side, that's the business. On the rear, that's the business. So that's 3 businesses plus renting it out to a gig economy worker. It'll definitely be able to let you monetize each car 4 times. And that's my most strategic method when it comes to the Turo. Yes, you can do Turo. The cars that are written the most on there are exotics or again fuel efficient cars. So if you can get exotic cars for the low, you can get a good turnaround on those. But when you're talking about renting out that advertisement space, it's going to be seen by thousands of people through the city because you have the driver driving through the city making the deliveries. So that's an incentive to local business owners to be able to get their businesses advertised to the people who need to see it most at a good rate. So that's how you could do it. And then 2, so one thing y'all don't know about me is I have been flipping cars for 20 years now. And that in itself is just some good money. When I was 16, I learned how to start getting cars at the police auction. And then, just like the tow in place auctions and different things like that. So you have like a gamble on a lot of those cars. I have did some underwriting or like you go with somebody else who has a dealer license to the dealer's auctions. And you can get, I've seen some great deals. And if you just look on like Craigslist, you can see what people are actually, selling cars for to be able to get an estimate of your profit margin. And so without having a dealer license here in Colorado, we're limited to 4 cars per year. You can only sell 4 cars a year without a license. So to be able to have a license, you are not limited. So it does vary from state to state, but you got some decent profits if you know what you're doing. And I'm telling you, I'll get me a mechanic off of Craigslist that'll go out to the auction with me for $50. Make sure, look at the car, like it ain't got no water damage or like a head gasket or nothing blown on it. And I usually get it fixed for a good deal. And then, like I said, I am having pretty decent profit margins being able to sell. I've also worked out deals with the buy here, pay here places around me locally. So sometimes I'll find cars and I'll actually sell it to the buy here, pay here places for a lower amount, and they put their extra on it, and everybody wins. So when you talk about active income, you can make some decent money just on the car flipping side. Period.
Yes, for a quick example, this is a car that I'm actually looking at to purchase. The auction started 11:15. So when I looked yesterday, it hadn't sold yet. So it's gonna come back up. I think it comes back up on the 20th. So if a car goes to the auction, it doesn't sell, the dealer or the owner, however it may goes, they may re-enter the auction again. So the adjusted MMR, a MMR is pretty much the Manheim rate that is supposedly should sell at on average. So we're looking at a $8,400 car purchased through Manheim. I'm gonna stop share 1 second and bring up. Oops, let's go back. That's not right.
And I do want to say, like, I've had people that I've helped get cars that just use them for collateral. So they'll go to the credit union and get title loans, and they give you the Kelly Blue Book value on the cars, which I'd say 65% of the time, well, probably not, I'd say about 75% of the time, my clients have, paid way less than the Kelly Blue Book. So then that's more leverage as far as other institutions' money as well.
Correct. So, for example, that $8,000 price, that's the max that I would pay. And then we have the estimated retail value at the bottom here. As you can see, on average, it's going to sell for 12.3. The typical range is between 13.7 and 19.2. Right. So if I paid, say $8,000 for that car, I could turn around and sell it for 12,000 on average. That's the low end, and I make $4,000.
Buy
So
low,
that
sell high, keep everything in between.
indeed. So having access to these private auctions is going to open up a massive source of income for you. The average small dealership makes about $250,000 a year. And that's about, I say you have a lot with maybe on average 20 cars. So 20 cars a month. So if your lot is holding at least 20 cars a month throughout the year, this is not counting that the cars that you're selling, of course. But if you have on average 20 cars a month, you can pretty much guarantee yourself $250,000 a year. Then that's probably about selling maybe, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 cars a week. So that's a very small dealership. The big dealerships, I can't, it varies. I can't even really count all of their income. But you're talking about $1 million businesses with, a mid-size, a larger dealership.
Any of you all get upset about making $250,000 a year?
No, sir.
Didn't think so. Now I'm going to tell you this too, that the idea that, a lot of people do Turo, a lot of people fail at it. So a lot of people do real estate and fail at it. I just had some incredible conversations with some buyers this week who were really, really smart, who learned how to make money coming and going. They're making money 3 times as fast, 3 times as much as anybody else who'd be doing the same deal. In fact, I was on a conversation yesterday with somebody who literally told a developer that they're leaving money on the table. Somebody who's spent millions and millions, tens, maybe hundreds of millions of dollars going, we're going to do this great, got all the permits. And one of my buyers came in and goes, y'all are doing it wrong. We're going to set this up. You're going to make 3 times the money, twice as fast. Let's go. So it's really about creative ideas that make you have an unfair competitive advantage in the marketplace. And what Marcus is talking about is don't just do Turo, y'all. Yeah, fine. But be a broker, be a dealer, make money coming and going. And what Daz is talking about is not just, have a car, but get it to pay you 4 different ways. Get it to pay you buy right. We always talk about that in real estate. Buy right. Get it from Marcus or go through an auction, and then sell the sides. Get it to somebody who's going to drive it every day. And then once you're done with it, make some capital selling it again to somebody else. And that's how you make money coming and going. And every one of the businesses that Daz and I are working with, that's what we want. We want you to have an unfair competitive advantage in whatever that is, whether you're mining crypto, whether you're doing DeFi, whether you're doing vending, or what we've been talking about last week, this week, and then next week too, in the world of cars, being able to provide something that everybody just about needs. So that's why we believe in this. And we were just, it's such a blessing to have Marcus with us. And of course, Daz, stone cold killer of used cars. So anybody have any other questions?
And to give everyone a heads up, I'm not just going to be doing the cars. We also have a trucking department we're going to introduce. We do trucks as well. Also, I'm a day trader. Foundation wise, I day trade and e-commerce are two things that I also specialize in. I'm going to add things to the real estate department, which is more of like a investing type of deal mixed with real estate. So it's very, very unique. It's new. Nobody else that I know is teaching this. So we also going to bring this in. It's for everyday people. It doesn't take a lot of capital to get started, but it's definitely something that you guys want to participate in. Not only the real estate, I'm going to add wine investing as well. This is the only thing
baby, wine
that's outpacing inflation. So I found another very, very profitable way that we can take advantage of investing in wine, which is kind of similar to, like I said, the stock market as well. It's ran kind of like that as well, but I'm going to be introducing that probably beginning of next year, January.
It's like fine art. It's like, the elite invest in fine art. Well, that's millions usually, but you can do wine and it's a lot less. And some of you are like, well, okay, this all sounds great. Where do we start? Well, it starts with a creative idea. And Marcus and Daz just gave you some great creative ideas on how to build this business. Then it starts with funding. Some of y'all have cash in your bank account. You probably shouldn't use that cash, right? Cash is too expensive to use. It's way easier to use credit. Reach out to Daz, reach out to us. She gave you the whole rundown. If you missed the beginning, maybe Daz put that slide up again. The slide on how you apply for $1. If you got 685 or better, get the funding. Once you have the funding, we're going to reach out and we're going to say, okay, you're approved for $100,000, you're approved for 50, you're approved for 80. Even if you're approved for 20, you can get into business. And that's where we're going to reach out to you and help you build this plan. And if you say, listen, I want to do car dealership, I want to do Turo, then we're going to bring in Marcus. Some of you want to do the Shopify store thing, and we're going to bring in that vendor. Some of you want to do real estate, whatever that is, have the plan. We had somebody come to us. They had over $230,000 in funding that they didn't get from us. They got from somebody else, and they didn't have a plan. No plan. They just had money and debt. So without a plan, you got nothing, right? I was in a gasoline station today getting some non-ethanol gas for my truck, and there was a couple of old guys buying lottery tickets in front of me, and I'm just thinking, you know what, if either one of those men won the lottery here in Tennessee and got 400 mil, they'd be broke real soon. Because without a plan, y'all, it doesn't matter how many of you know that it doesn't matter how much money you make, you're still going to be broke if you don't got a plan. Because that poor person mindset never leaves you unless you get good mentorship and good ideas. And Marcus and Daz and the rest of our team got some good ideas. And you don't have to work with us, really. But you got to work with somebody, or you're going to still be in the rat race 10 years from now. I promise you. Daz just put in the chat the 3 scores where you're going to go spend a whopping $1 to get a soft pull on your credit. It won't affect your credit. If you get 685 or better and you don't have any blemishes and bankruptcies or tax liens or whatever in the last 7 years, send those scores in a PDF format to funding@legacyascending.com. We will get you very likely an answer by tomorrow. Guaranteed 72 hours business, but they're very fast. We have a great relationship with our lenders, and you get approved. We specialize in getting people, because they'll give you a range. They'll say, oh, you'll get from 55,000 to 85,000. Well, we're going to show you how to get 85,000 and more at the top of your range, because we've done this a lot, and Daz is great at doing that. Any questions about how you're going? All you are going to start somewhere. And if you don't know where you're going to start, this is the time to ask the question so that we can get you rolling tomorrow. If you already know how you're going to start, you got to reach out and let us know either through applying, or if you've already got your credit or your cash, or you need a plan, reach out and we will do everything we can to support you. Because, you know, as much as we like hanging out, we also want to create generational wealth for everybody else. Does that make sense, y'all? If that makes sense to you, put a 3 in the chat box. If you're confused, if you're like, what is he talking about? Put a 0 in the chat box. Thank you, Fancy. If you're confused, put a 0 in the chat box. If you have any questions, last chance, fire away.
Yeah, and this is why I'm so excited about it, because it's something that funding is something that has become kind of popular in our niche. As you know, Facebook niche, it's become very, very popular. Everybody's saying, I can get you funded, but nobody's giving the resources to take that funding and make more money from it, right? So if somebody gets funded, it's really just you're putting yourself in more debt, like you said, if you don't have a plan to take this money and be able to pay it back and make some money on top of that, right? So getting funded is cool, but if you don't have nothing to do with those funds, then you're going to be in further debt. And that's not what we're trying to do. I've had tons and tons of people in my inbox telling me I can get you funded, but nobody's saying I can get you funded and I can show you how to take that money and make it more money. So this is why I'm so excited. This is why I did not hesitate to partner up with Daz and Mark and everybody else a part of Sending Funny, because it's just wonderful. I've never heard somebody say, I can get you funded, but then I can show you how to start your Turo business, show you how to mine cryptocurrency, show you how to do real estate. We have somebody that can help take care of your taxes. All of this stuff is just under one roof, and that's why I'm so excited and happy to be a part of this system.
I just
Hi,
want
this
to
is
say there's
Teresa.
mhm.
Sorry. This is Teresa. I also want to thank all the guests that joined, that I invited, that are here. Thank you so much for showing up. Appreciate it. Please ask the questions. They're here to help you. You don't have to be scared. They will help you. They loving people. I'm telling you, I wouldn't lie to y'all. I ain't trying to front. They help me all the time. Peace and blessing.
Yes. Please ask all the questions necessary, because like I'm going into doing these Zooms and these presentations about the dealer. So all the questions help me to make presentations better. There will also be a YouTube page that I'll be, doing little things on and giving out more details, especially like the taxes and the requirements of each state. All of that stuff is coming. I'm just getting in the groove here. So it's new to me as well, y'all. So bear with me. Everything will be ironed out smoothly in a couple more weeks.
Will you also drop information in the Discord group, or is this just for the Zoom info?
No, definitely the Discord as well. Yep.
Okay.
Dad is definitely gonna make sure all the information, things get leaked into that Discord. I'm pretty sure of that.
She's the queen of it.
Yeah, because I
Marcus,
just came up with the
I don't know
ideas
if you're
more.
seeing the chat, Marcus, but what was this question? When can we expect to ROI?
Immediately. I mean, that comes along with your work ethic as well. That timing. So if you dive right into it, you start to get your cars, purchase your cars, and get them up, get your inventory going. You can kind of see return on investment on that 15,000 within the first maybe 3 cars you sell. I just showed you an example. I don't know if you saw it, of a car that you can purchase for, right at 4,800, I think it was, and you can turn around and sell it for 12. That 4,800 was the high. Usually on the MMR, that would be what they call a buy now price. So they have buy now prices at the auctions as well, where you don't even have to participate in the bidding process. You can go in and say, you know what, I just want to buy this car now for this price, and you can get it at that price without having to bid on it. So we kind of gauge the way we shop that way. So if I see a buy now price that I can handle and I just want to go ahead and get it without having to go through the auction process, then I'll do that, get the car, turn around and sell it for profit, and keep it moving. There is also a wholesaler's license that we can get you as well, to where you can sell business to business, meaning that you can get a wholesale auctions license. You can't sell retail to individuals, but you can sell to other dealerships. You can put your cars in the auction, and people from the auction can actually buy these cars from you too. So that's a wholesale license. We really don't do many of those because it's not really a lot of perks that you get with the wholesale license, but they're easier to get, and you can do business to business deals that. But yeah, I mean, your first 3 cars should pretty much get you in the green on your return investments, return on investment. We have a hand raised, Teresa.
Yes. Now I don't know anything about a car, so how would I know if the car is a good car or not? How that's the thing that I want to know about for
Well,
myself.
as a broker or a dealer, you have access to the entire car history from first
Okay.
purchase to previous purchase. You have inspections that they do at Mannheim, Odessa. Those are 2 great ones that you can pretty much go with their word. So you have certificates of inspections. They have to give full details when they enter these cars into the auctions, all the way down to the littlest scratch on the car has to be reported. If you buy a car from the auction, you find something that wasn't reported, guess what? The auction has to reimburse you.
That's good. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
No problem, no problem. So yeah, I mean, the access that we're giving people with this broker's license and also full dealership, especially with the brokers, you're getting that inside look at what the dealers get to see when they're purchasing their cars. So that way, when they sell their cars to their clients, the clients pretty much are not getting all the full details unless the dealership gives it to them. We're giving you the same look that we're getting. So when you purchase your car, you're going to know everything that a dealership would know when they purchase the car. That's one of the beautiful things about it.
I want to say that's powerful. So
Yes.
like I said, with the flipping cars and like going to the auctions, you gotta hope you know somebody at the auction and you know what to look for. So when I say know what to look for, like they'll like leave the door open, or they'll let the battery run out, so that you gotta have a plug on the inside that's gonna leave a clue on the car, because you get kicked out the auction for even starting up the car. So when you don't have that dealer insight information, it's more of a gamble if you don't know what you're doing, because you don't know, and they don't tell you that. They tell you if it come with a key, if it run, and if it drive. That's it.
Correct. And we have tools in place. For example, we have VIN scanner, your VIN scanner. So with this VIN scanner, we put the VIN number into this system, and it's going to tell us everything we need to know. Also, it's going to tell us what we should be selling the car for. So it's giving you details that, that you don't even have to be a mechanic, so to say, to know, okay, this is a good car. I'll buy this car and be able to sell it for that. Now, not to say that you don't want to have a mechanic on your team as a dealership, because that's a vital piece to the puzzle that you're going to need in order to flip cars properly. Because you may have cars that might need minor work on them, that might need this and that. You want to get these things fixed before you put it on the market so you can maximize your profit. So you want to have a team of people put together in your own state, body work guy, a mechanic, things of this nature, so you can maximize your profit. Or you can buy and sell as is too. There's profit there as well, especially as a dealership, because you're getting these cars at a price that no one else can get them unless they have a dealer's license.
Are there any other questions?
I'm so used to running Zoom from my laptop. I'm still learning this phone.
Well, I definitely just want to say multiple streams of income is the way. There's only so many jobs that you can work, so much overtime that you can take. So to create generational wealth, to me, wealth means how many days forward that your money can carry you if you were to stop working today. And it's gonna take a little bit to get there. And so however you do it, just stack and add to your arsenal of options and things that are inflowing, to your generational wealth pool.
Yeah, and also, I mean, I always suggest people use, their resources as stepping stones. So, we have 3 different packages where all 3 of these packages is gonna open up a source of income. So say for instance, you're kind of iffy about, I don't know if I want to spend 15,000 on a full dealership, or even if I don't even want to run a full dealership, maybe I should just, be a broker. Or, maybe I should just stick with the 500, get my Turo cars running, take that profit and become a broker. And then use that as a stepping stone. So everything is a stepping stone in my eyes. When we first started, I started off as just a broker. I didn't just jump right into the full dealership. I started off as a broker. My mentor, he helped me out a lot. I bought and sold some cars, and then I took that profit and I started the full dealership and my cousin. So that's how I did it. That's how I would suggest, people do it as well. Put your eggs in different baskets. You got 15,000 that you can put up. Maybe you want to just put the 4 up, take the other, 11 and go buy you a couple cars to flip. Right. So it's just how it depends on how you want to do it. I like using things as stepping stones.
Okay, one last question. If we wanted to do, like, I know you mentioned the day trading, the crypto, e-commerce, the wine, real estate, trucking. Okay, what's the price on those, or is that just something that you got coming forward and you haven't like
Yeah, with the
details on that yet?
we decided to launch the dealership system first.
Okay.
That day trading stuff, all of that stuff is coming later on. We're gonna set up a system for you guys to come into with that. So yeah, that'll be coming in the future, and then we're gonna get the trucking stuff launched as well soon. So right now we're kind of just focused on, with me personally, we're just focused mostly on the dealership stuff now, but I'm putting together everything else to launch top of the year. And if I'm not mistaken, Daz, don't you guys already have like a day trading system in place, or no?
What was that?
Education community, but we don't have automation. No.
Okay, yeah. So we'll try to start introducing some automation, because that's when it comes to day trading, that's pretty much the space that I'm in now. I don't really day trade manually unless I have to.
Well, if you guys don't have any more questions, well no, next Thursday is Thanksgiving. I don't know if
Oh
we'll
yeah,
be here
it
next
is,
week.
isn't it?
Yeah. So we'll be back here the first Thursday in December, I believe. Let me look. Let me look. Not next Thursday, the Thursday after. That's what it is. So we'll be back not next Thursday, the Thursday after next.
December 1st?
Yeah. So yeah, that is the first Thursday. Does anybody else have any questions before we get out of here? All right. Well, we will see you guys on December 1st. Blessings, be fortunate, and may the prophets forever be in your favor.
Peace
Thank
and
you.
blessing,
Appreciate
everyone.
the
Have a great night.
information.
Thank you,
for the
everyone.
information. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great night. Peace and blessing. Don't forget to get those credit score, family. Try it out.